Your gut is like your body's second brain. It affects your energy levels, your mood, and your immune system. But here's the kicker. If your colon isn't happy, your whole body feels it. Bloating, fatigue, digestive issues. Sound familiar? We're diving deep into the poo-poo today. What's messing it up, how to keep it in top shape, and why taking care of it now could literally add years to your life. You don't want to miss this one, and we're starting right now. Welcome, everybody. I'm Scott Paton, your co-host. Joining us, as usual, Martin Pytela, life health engineer at Life Enthusiast. Hey, Martin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. You know, your radio voice is so good and so trained, and then all of a sudden you have this tongue-tied moment, and I'm thinking, where did that come from? Because 9 times out of 10, or 99 out of 100, you are just spot on, and then all of a sudden, and then
I'm human. This is how I prove I'm not AI.
Yeah, and look at me. I change my voice tone. Suddenly, right. I have laryngitis underway, and it's quite something.
It really is. It's very, very unusual for me to be talking to you and you sounding so sexy.
Oh, I so appreciate that, baby.
Hey, George, thank you for joining us as usual. We love having you on with us.
Yeah,
your participation and everybody else. So make sure that you like, comment, and share this, subscribe, share this, let everybody know what's going on.
Yeah. Share. Hey, as you were just saying that intro piece, I was thinking of a story I heard where all the organs got together for a meeting.
I was thinking about the same story.
And nobody was giving much respect to the sphincter at the back end of it.
Yep.
And I don't know if I can say the name that they used in that story, but anyway, it's the sphincter, and nobody was paying any respect. And he decided, you know what, I'll have a way with you, and he clamped down, and he would not let go. And so, after about a week, the organs got together and they voted. And they decided that no, it was not the brain, that it was the top of the heel. It was the sphincter at the end of the colon. That was the most important organ of them all.
That's right. It's a wonderful story, a wonderful joke. And And we don't often, well, it's poo, right? So people don't like talking about their poo and they get grossed out. And that, I think, is a North American, mostly in the last 50 years thing, because I've noticed over the years talking with you, you have no problem talking about it. It's not a big deal.
Scott, I need to butt in with this story. When I was growing up, Germans use it a lot, but where I was growing up in Czechoslovakia, we certainly had a lot of them. And it's like this. The toilet design is different. You have a toilet in such a way that where you poop, there's actually a place that holds the poop fully exposed. And only when you pull the flush, it washes it away from the pedestal into the hole. So here in America, all the toilets are designed in such a way that the poop immediately drops into water.
Yes.
And disappears. A German toilet exposes it and serves it to you like that. Please examine what you just produced.
Right. And really, that is something that we should be examining. Like, we should be looking at like what's in our poop, and same with like what is the color of our pee, sort of thing, because those are really good indicators of our general health. And I can remember once I had a lot of red stuff in my in my poo, because I do that. Like before I flush, I take a look. Like, I mean, unfortunately, it's under 3 or 4 or 5 inches of water. You can't really like get in, and I wouldn't want to. But and anyway, I was like, oh no, there's this red stuff in there, blood. Yeah. And then I realized that I ate beets yesterday, so that's what it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, beets and corn on the cob, the best indicators to help you time your transit time.
Right.
And transit time is an important thing. You want to have something that you eat now come out of you about 24 hours later. And so for every major meal, you should also have an evacuation. So if you eat a large breakfast, you want to have a large poop next morning. And if you eat a large dinner, you want to also have a poop in the evening to get rid of it. Otherwise, it's going to be another 8 hours and then come out of you.
Yeah, and that's not good, because the longer I have a kind of a list of things to talk about, but I think this is really important. The longer it's sitting in your colon, the worse it is, because now it's fermenting and it's got, I mean, it's supposed to get stuff out of you, right? And
listen to this, right? So when it comes through you, it's actually wet. You're drinking with it. The food is actually wet in your stomach and in the small intestine. It's about the consistency of wet porridge. But then when it hits the colon, it starts taking water out of it. It takes away a lot of the moisture. So if you happen to have a whole bunch of very, very slow moving impacted material stuck to the walls of the colon, your body is drinking its clean water through that layer.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be very clean.
It's going to be full of old, putrefied, decayed, horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you have is it's like the compost, right? You want to have it go through, take out the bad stuff, get in the good stuff. So let's talk a little bit about factors that can affect colon health. And the most obvious one that we would be concerned about is dietary choices. So, obviously, if you're getting high processed foods and seed oils, then your colon's going to be in the best shape ever.
Yep.
No, that's a no.
Well, you're right. Yes.
You want to eat fiber-rich foods. You don't want to be eating all that processed stuff.
Yes, right. And fiber. The old man, the old like 5,000 years ago, or people in the hunter-gatherer societies, they would consume somewhere around 100 grams of fiber a day.
Wow.
The recommendation for the modern man is about 35.
35.
And the typical fast food eater who's on a refined flour food, maybe 10.
So we're getting 1/10 of the fiber we should be getting in our body. And of course, what happens to the fiber when it hits the colon is it's full of water, it's expanded, it helps you clean the colon out and all that sort of good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So I mentioned it's full of water. You mentioned water. Hydration is really important in digestion.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So, of course, here I am hydrating. People who eat a lot of salad, there's a lot of water in that. And, of course, juices and the likes. The benefits of raw are well established. The more raw food you eat, the healthier you'll be.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have never yet been able to figure out how to process raw food to keep it raw.
Well, we can freeze it. And then
that's not grinding it up and twisting it and turning it
into... actually, I would say this. In the superfood business, we take raw food and we freeze dry it, or actually we probably particle size reduce it and dry it and have it ready to be reconstituted with water. So now I would say it's reconstitutable. But
Okay.
yeah.
It's a little different than a Ritz cracker, though.
Yeah. The ultra processed, wheat germ removed, refined flour that has been enriched with folic acid and vitamin B something.
We often tend to go off on completely different tangents, but as you were talking, my background, of course, as you know, is a grocery store manager. We had lots of pallets of food come in. The food would usually come from a warehouse that was 500 miles away. And after being in another warehouse that's maybe 2,000 miles away, and being in another warehouse that's maybe 5,000 miles away, and then being in a boat that came from 10,000 miles away, right? The bananas, for example. So one of the problems that we have when we don't process food is, of course, that it goes bad. It spoils. It has little blotches on it, bruises on it, mold on it. So I was just thinking, like, if we know that, and the reason that we process the food is so it can stay on the shelf for 6 months, right? You go to the vegetable oil section, pick it up, it'll have an expiry date, and it's like usually 6 months away. You go to the cracker section, you look at the expiry date, it's probably next year. So, stuff like milk, it's maybe 3 weeks on the shelf, and then it's considered expired. By the way, it's usually considered expired, but if you've got it in the fridge for another week, it should not be sour. But I was thinking, like, Martin, what would we have to do to restructure our food distribution system so that we could replace, like, crackers that last 5 years without going bad, because there's nothing in it that's nutritional, with things that are nutritional? Would we have to? I'll stop there and let you talk.
Well, I have high hopes for the microgreens industry. I'm thinking of sprouting and short growing of green things, which can be done under artificial lights in any warehouse. I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen a lot. So that would be the immediate, right? Sprouted seeds would be awesome. That's the most healthy stuff possible. Other than that, meet the local farmer, right? Or plant your own.
Right. Actually, that's what I was sort of thinking. Like, we would just have to basically get rid of the whole system, with the exception of maybe some fruits and vegetables. But there's hydroponics. The people can.
That's what I was thinking.
Almost bring it into super local or micro local.
Exactly.
Situation, right?
Yeah, like on the roof of the super store or superfood or whatever they're called, Piggly Wiggly store, there should be a food growing facility that would microprocess it. Or maybe we all, each one of us collectively, should start buying these food growing bits that we put into our garages instead of. After all, pretty soon we'll have self-driving cars, so we will be giving up automobiles. So garages will become a thing of the past, or at least there will be
it won't be as full of cars as it is now. And I was thinking too, like, someone once wrote an article, like, if everybody took their backyard and took the grass out and put a garden in, each garden would produce enough food for everyone living in that house and probably 3 neighbors, right? So if you said, you know what, I'm going to be the carrot guy, I'm going to grow carrots. You be the Brussels sprout guy, you grow Brussels sprouts. Someone else grows pumpkin, and then you all get together and share your food, and then store it, right?
Yeah, again, Scott, this is something that's probably coming our way. I have been contemplating the AI revolution as it's coming our way, and the humanoid robots that's coming our way. There will be a lot of jobs that will be going away. There will be a lot of time that I will have on my hand to grow my own food.
Or you can have a robot that does it for you. It would be the new scarecrow, right? You don't have to worry about the birds and the bees. You just have this robot waving his flag over your food to scare all the animals away.
Oh my God.
All right, so
I can't
that's
come
my
up
10.
with anything decent for us humans to be doing. I was hoping that at this moment, at least I will be able to grow my food, but no, you will have a robot do it.
Well, you have the choice, right? If you're a gardening type like my dad was, and he made the world's best tomatoes, awesome. But if you prefer to play music, or you like to write or read or paint, I mean, there's lots of creative things humans can do, and destructive things humans can do if they've got too much time on their hand. So we need to kind of get everybody going in a way that improves their health, improves their mental health, and gets them happy. So getting back off of off the tangent and back on topic, what about what's the microbiome that happens in our digestive system?
You know what's interesting? There's a lot of pH changes in the terrain. Your mouth is alkaline, your stomach is acidic, your small intestine is alkaline, and your colon is acidic. When the poop comes out of you, you should actually check it. You should stick some pH paper right into the poop, and it should come up as at the most 6.5 on the scale, as in below 7, on the acidic side.
On the acidic side, okay.
Yeah. Because if it doesn't, then you have the wrong bacteria growing in your colon.
Okay.
You may be getting not enough short chain fatty acids, SCFAs, like the propionic or acetic or butyric, and especially butyric. You will have heard of butyrate as the most important thing to be produced in the body. And it's the small intestine bacteria that are supposed to be making butyrate that hits the colon, that feeds the bacteria that live in the large intestine.
Okay.
It's so bloody complicated, you know. There are different people living on this side of the border from the people that are living on that side of the border. Likewise in the gut, totally different guys, different environment, you know. The alkaline guys don't like to mix with the acidic guys. Just
right.
The same vicinity.
Right. So we have to make sure that that we have the right flora and fauna for the right job.
Yes.
Okay. And the next thing I want to talk about is stress, because that can really have a huge impact on your digestion. And to me, it's kind of like the body just squeezes everything and nothing can go through because it's just all so tight and rigid. But that's how my mind looks at it.
Well, actually, you would know it like that. If the poop that comes out of you is about as thick as this pencil, you know that your gut is tight. And that is actually happening when you are in stress. The fight or flight will cause you to squeeze everything. Yep, it is like that.
Too much. Yeah. So we need to learn to relax. You need to learn to meditate, prayer, hug a tree, go out in the woods, go out in the forest, take your shoes off, put your feet on the ground.
Here's a good one. Somebody came in with, I have constipation. And I said, have you had your 30-minute walk yet? And wouldn't you know it? Oftentimes, that's all it takes. Just half an hour of walking and things move along just fine.
Right. And generally speaking, if we're not walking someplace that has lions and tigers, you're going to be also relaxing and resting as you walk. So what are some signs of an unhealthy colon? Like, what should we be watching for?
Well, so smelly things, right? If you're putrefying, then definitely bad stuff. Like if it smells bad, well, like this. If it floats, you're not processing fats well. If it's yellow, you're not processing fats well.
Ooh.
If it's pellets, you're draining too much water out of it. It's staying inside of you too long. If it's too mushy, too liquidy, then your transit time is too short and you're dumping it too early. I mean, there are 1,000 ways of.
So let's dive into the gruesome part of this for most of us, which is, what does a good poop look like? And if it doesn't look like that, then you need to be concerned.
Yeah, it should look like the banana without the peel, except brown.
There you go. All right. And now, does it go to the bottom or does it float on top?
Oh, it should sink.
Okay.
Floaters are a sign of poor processing of fats. Or else, maybe if you eat a lot of fiber, it will float.
Right. Right. So there's no like, everybody's individual, everybody eats differently. Like, you need to be aware of yourself, what you're doing, and that sort of stuff.
So when you don't have good processing in the small intestine, things get past the valve. It's called ileocecal valve, the one that separates the small intestine from the large intestine. And it's not supposed to go back. Here's the thing. When you burp, that's the valve at the bottom of the esophagus or top of the stomach opening and letting gas up into your mouth. Well, the other valve that's between the colon and the small intestine can also open and allow resorption or a burp from the colon back into the small intestine. Not a good thing.
Right.
Because that acidic stuff is not supposed to flow upstream back into the alkaline world.
Right. Yeah, that's not good.
And some people have their IC valve stuck on open. And so it allows stuff that's underdigested to get in there too soon, but also the stuff that's post-processed to flow back upstream. It's bad news.
Right. So George has an interesting comment. He says, body odor, bad breath is a sure sign. And this is a great example of generalization, because I happen to know for a fact that if you eat 3 or 4 raw garlics a day for a month, you're going to have probably pretty strong body odor that most people won't like. And they probably can't stand your breath either. So you have to take, like, if you're eating a normal sort of diet and you've got body odor and bad breath, like, you need to take a real strong look at it. If you've been eating 3 garlic chunks a day, then you need to think about maybe eating a little less.
Right. Okay. However, if underdigested protein makes it into the colon, then you will have this rotten smell. I don't know how to translate it into anything polite. It's like
it's just raw. It's rotten.
It's not like snakes mating, If you've ever smelled snakes mating, you know what I'm talking about.
I thought you said snakes mating, and that was a bad enough impression on my poor little brain.
Oh, heck yeah. I meant snakes making out to...
Oh, making...
Copulation by snakes.
Oh, that's what you did. I got it right then. Okay, yeah.
Oh, you got it right. And they really that's pretty interesting.
I can't say I've ever been around 2 snakes that are making babies.
Yeah, you have to
so
go.
How can we clean up our colon, and maybe talk a little bit about some detox myths that we come across from time to time?
Well, I have the easiest for people who are moving too slowly, or whose food is moving too slowly through them. We have this miraculous product called Dr. Miller's Holy Tea, which you can take a little, you can take a lot, depending on how resistant you are. It's easily made. You just take a tea bag, put it in 12 cups of water, and it goes a long way. This This is an 8 tea bag, usually a 2-month supply for a regular person. Anyway, does wonders for moving things along.
Very cool. So I brought it up on the screen.
Yeah.
And let's take a quick look at it. Herbal bowel and liver cleanse. So it's a very gentle process, right?
Yep. Yet the more of it you drink, the more urgent it will become.
Right. So improve regularity, break down toxic waste, flush it out, purge parasites, calm your digestion, relieve bloating. I find if I don't eat bread, pasta, rice, my bloating is way down.
Oh, absolutely. If you reduce the intake of the most fermentable stuff, which is pure glucose, right?
Yeah.
Starchy things ferment. How do you make wine or how do you make alcohol? Is you take something that has sugars in it, either fructose or glucose, and you ferment it.
Yeah.
You take potatoes, make vodka. You take wheat, you make whiskey. You take rice, you make sake. And I can name, the apricot brandy and Calvados from apples. Anything can be made into alcohol.
Apple cider, yeah. So we've got malva leaves, blessed thistle, holy thistle, milk thistle, marshmallow leaves, persimmon leaves. So quite an amazing combination.
Mm-hmm. And it actually tastes nice. It's kind of lemony tasting tea.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's my go-to for people who are walking for half an hour every day, drink enough water, and they still can't get it going. There it is.
Have that tea. So what about something like colon hydrotherapy?
Well, that's an awesome tool to wash stuff out.
I dated a colon hydrotherapist for 3 or 4 years, 2 or 3 decades ago. And it was funny because she says, yeah, like when we do this, you'll have like 20 pounds of poop come out. And there's a little window so you can see what's coming out, right? Yeah. And I did it a couple times and it didn't look like there was 20 pounds coming out unless the poop was a lot heavier than I thought.
No, there was not. Because
I attribute that to the excellent superfoods that I've been drinking for years and years and years, because I figured I was getting good nutrition. I didn't have any particular issue that I was going to the colon hydrotherapist.
I'm quite sure of that. I remember the story cited that when John Wayne died, there was something like 30 pounds of colon.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Elvis Presley had a pretty bad relationship with food. He ate white bread with jam and peanut butter sandwiches all the time.
That's harsh. Yeah. And so many people still do. I think it's a good thing to do, once or twice a year. Go in there and get a coffee enema and get it all cleaned out. Go with one that knows what they're doing.
Yeah. Something weird happened.
Wayne and Elvis.
Yeah, something weird happened to the transmission. I don't know if it's a problem or not, but whatever's out there. Let's ask George. Can you still see the screen coming through? Anyway,
I turned the screen off.
Yeah, it's all black to me.
Oh no, I see you. I see the screen.
Yeah, right.
We were so that's happened a few times on your end.
Okay.
So George, is the screen off? Is that a yes? The screen is off.
Okay. No, he's okay.
Hey, okay. Okay, good. All right. So we're getting close to we're really getting close to the end of our time together. So let's talk a little bit about a couple other products that are really important. The first one being Tributyrin.
Right. I mentioned the butyric acid, the essential acid, or short chain fatty acid, I should call it. That is supposed to be produced in the small intestine. So if you're not producing enough of it, you should supplement it. And you hear about butyrate, that's the um, beta butyrate and something like that. This is the ultimate source of what ketogenic diet is supposed to get you. Anyway, that thing is really, really useful in correcting people who are having elimination issues.
I see it says soft gels. Am I to assume that does not go into your mouth, but it goes into the other end?
No. These are little football-shaped
Okay.
gel caps.
There's just something about sticking something up my bum that I just cannot get
come
my
on,
head around.
Scott. You wipe it every day. What's the thing?
All right. So this helps regulate your gut speed, reduces inflammation, supports your microbiome diversity, proper immune system activity, healthy mast cells and histamine levels. That can be really important.
Oh, yeah. A lot of stuff affected by that.
And it's butyrate and butyric acid are commonly used interchangeably. So that's what's here.
Yes, sir. That's the
Awesome.
That's the deal.
And the other one we wanted to quickly talk about is Strataflora, one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's sort of a all things to all people at all time. It has fiber, it has lecithin, it has herbs that help to move things along. It has herbs to help with your liver, with your gallbladder. It has probiotic, prebiotic, postbiotic, antiparasitic. There's just everything in it to manage you from tongue to tail.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's something I think everybody should have once, twice, 3 times a year. Like one bottle is usually a month for me. Yeah. And my tendency for them, Martin, is to get a good sized glass, get a good sized scoop, and then stir it up and have it first thing in the morning. So I'll have like a glass of water, clear water, nothing in it. And then I'll have a glass of Strataflora or Iridessa or Lazarus. And usually it takes me half an hour to get through it. Like, I mean, I just down the glass of water and then I'll be working away. And just as, you know, like some people have coffee and they have a sip and then they have a sip. With me, it's the Exla, right? I'll have a couple, gulps and then I'll put it down and 5 minutes later, I'll have another gulp and eventually it's all gone.
Yep. That's what it's supposed to be. It's meant to be sipped.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
It's just like that.
Terrific. Okay, so we've come to the end of our time today. It's over 33 minutes. So, Martin, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day. I know you're in a busy office and have lots to do. Before we head out, any last words of encouragement or tips that you'd like to leave the audience with?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are all these dangerous things. Colitis is an inflammation, and diverticulitis is an inflammation of little diverticuli, which are little pockets of undigested food that's all around the colon. You would never, ever want to have any of that, but that's what people end up with. And we can help with that. It's just, it would be wonderful if you never got there.
Right. Prevention is way better than fixing things after the fact.
Yeah.
I'd like to leave everybody with this thought. Look at your friends that are 5 or 10 years older than you, and what is their health? Look at your parents. What sort of health do they have? And then look at people that are your parents' age, and look in, is that what you want, right? Because most people are on the same path as the people that are around them, and particularly the family. So if your grandpa and grandma are huge around the waist, you need to decide now what you're going to do to make sure that doesn't happen. Or if they're dying prematurely, or if they have any one of the chronic diseases that so many people have. I was reading somewhere that like 78% of Americans over the age of 30 or 40 have some form of chronic disease. And you don't have to have that fate. You can create your own fate. One of the reasons I love working with Martin, and I love the products, and I take them so fastidiously, so religiously, I didn't want to say that word, but that's the word, is because I've looked at my parents and I've looked at some of my friends and I think, holy smokes, I don't want that. What can I do? And then you need to take responsibility. And one of the best ways to start is journal. Because if you eat something today and tomorrow you feel like crap, look back and see, what did I eat yesterday? But I never remember. Like I have days where I just feel great, and the next day I feel crappy, and I'm like, what was I doing last week that I felt great, and what did I do this week that I don't? It's not the moon shifting from full moon to crescent moon. It's what is stuck in here.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, it's the food, baby. All right.
So you've been watching or listening to Life Enthusiast Health Shots podcast, restoring vitality to you and the planet. We come to you live every Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific. And thanks for joining us, everybody. We love you, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.
My body's a temple, but the walls are cracked. Stuck in the rubble of the years I've stacked. Stagnation in my veins like a river turned to dust. Toxic whispers in the wind, but I gotta rebuild. I must.